Well, coming up right now, it's time for the last match here in Den Bosch this Saturday, and it's time to settle the gold medal for the compound men's open individual at this year's World Championships. World number 4, the 36-year-old Ben Thompson of the USA takes on the world number 50, the 44-year-old Murat Turan of Turkey. And this is how the athletes got here. Thompson beating he and his teammate Stuzman, Turan taking out Manshezda and Kumar to give us this gold medal match. And Chris, it was a tight 144-142 match between Stuzman and Thompson in that semi-final. How tough is it to face a teammate?
These guys shoot against each other, they train against each other, and especially in the US where there's such a developed competition circuit and such a lot of high-level compound athletes, they're quite used to it. But then to shoot against each other on the world stage, it's still different. It's a world championship on the line, it's not a national event.
Yeah, indeed, and we saw Murat Turan from Turkey a little bit earlier on, not performing up to the high standards he set all week in the team matches.
No, but by the end of the team match he had found the 10. His last arrow was a 10, and if he's found himself and he's found his comfort in that arena, then we should be in for a good match now.
Well, the Americans in strong voice here. I think he's just spotted that he's on the big screen here at the venue. You're on TV as well. Well, it looks like they're already in the call room, and let's go down to the range to welcome the athletes for the gold medal here in Den Bosch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field of play for the compound man open gold medal match.
Here they are, big cheer there. Well, the Turkish contingent in the crowd were in loud voice earlier on, and now they're being matched by the Americans because world number 4, Ben Thompson, takes to the range for this gold medal match. He shot a 695 in the ranking round, going into the knockouts, ranked 5th. And world number 50, a 44-year-old Murat Turan from Turkey. He's already been on the podium stage here for the team matches. He shot a 680 in the ranking round, only ranked 21st, but he's battled his way through to this gold medal match.
So Ben Thompson will shoot first because he was the 5th one in the ranking round earlier this week.
Well, Chris,
so he can decide
there seems to be a piece of equipment missing there from Ben Thompson.
It's quite difficult to shoot an archery final without your bow. I believe the coach is on his way with the equipment. Most of these athletes will bring 2 bows to a championship like this. 1 main bow, 1 spare bow, in case of any equipment failure. And there we are. Bows delivered.
Yeah, definitely going to need that. Smiles on the face of Ben Thompson. Strange things happen at World Championships, but I'm not sure I've ever seen such a vital piece of equipment missing from a gold medal match.
I think it was the coach that was missing, first of all.
I see. Well, that explains it.
Last minute nerves. Yeah.
Oh, who can blame them? This for the world title. Ben Thompson, the USA, going up against Murat Turan of Turkey. And it's Thompson on target 1 who will shoot first. It's a very good start from the American. another low one from Turan. We saw those wider shots in the team match.
Murat Turan was going low when he was in the team final with Turkey.
10.
Thompson looking very relaxed as he shoots 2 10s. Well, there you go. Murat Turan correcting the sighter from an 8 up into a 10.
I'd like to see that first arrow again to see if there's any difference between the first and second, and if there's a reason for that low arrow.
Well, a 9 from Thompson. He's not happy with that, but he's put this one out of reach. He will lead at the conclusion of this end.
9. So that means Thompson is leading.
So
with 2.
a 9 from Turan means he trails by 2 after the first 3 arrows from each of the archers. And interesting, starting with a low 9. That was the order of the day for Turan in the team match, but then coming up and straight into the X for his second arrow. Well, you said you wanted to see the first and second arrows, Chris. Well, here we go.
Yeah, there's no visible difference in his technique when that arrow goes low, so maybe he's just aiming off, not quite in the middle when he's executing.
Well, trails by 2, looks quite happy. He looks like whatever it was that he did, adjusting the aim or whatever he's done with the sight has made a difference. And despite leading, but despite trailing by 2 points, perhaps he feels strong now going into the remainder of this match. So Turan will shoot first in the second end.
Another low one for Murat Turan.
10.
Well, he's found the X again in his second arrow. Thompson, though, is on lightning form here.
You have to wonder if Murat struggles to keep his bow up, and he's fighting to keep the height while he's aiming.
Well, perhaps that's it. And I think that, you know, for people who don't get to see much archery, it's very difficult to see the tiny little differences that make a big difference at the target. And there's another beautiful grouping from Thompson, sees him get a perfect 30 and open up a big lead after 2 ends, 4 points, and looks like he's not giving up hitting the middle of this target. And all about stability and a very solid and consistent process. And here we see Thompson's 3 10s, and look how solid and stable he looks.
That's fantastic shooting. He's probably shooting better than he shot in any of the elimination matches, which is the first archer we've seen in this finals arena to do so.
Yeah, doing very well indeed, the 36-year-old. But if you're looking for those telltale signs, Chris, the stabilizer for me seems to be quite a good indication. If that's starting to move around, even just a tiny bit, it's a bit of an indication that the shot might not be as perfect as the athlete wants it to be.
Absolutely, it's the thing that's furthest out from the archer. I like to look at the sight as well, because that's what they're looking at. And however much that sight is moving, you're seeing the movement that they're seeing when they're aiming at the target. And with Murat, with those arrows that are dropping down into the low 9 and the 8, we're only talking a millimetre difference on the bow, a millimetre, but that can feel like so much when you're looking at a target that's 50 metres away.
Well, it's a strong start from Ben Thompson, dropping just the 1 point to lead by 5. So Murat Turan will shoot first at the start of the third end.
He's got 2 groups. He's got one of the correct sides and he's got one a ring low.
Well, that grouping is just incredible. He's hitting the same holes as he's hit in earlier ends. Well, there's that low grouping being hit again for Murat Turan. And this one is slipping away from him.
10.
It's difficult to beat someone shooting so well as Ben Thompson there. That's 1 arrow down in 8. Really world class.
9.
Well, a 9 from Turan, but is it going to be another perfect 30 from Ben Thompson?
9.
Well, he drops that one into the 9.
Another 29. He only lost 2 points.
Just asking
in this match.
whether that's
So
low, but Thompson moving out to an 8-point lead, and like you say, world-class shooting. Take a look back at Thompson's, all of his arrows so far, all 9, and just that 1 left and 1 low 9, and the rest all in the yellow.
Yeah, and at this level you'd expect people to hit if they shoot a good shot and miss if they don't shoot a good shot. And from what I've seen, I believe those 2 9s for him were not particularly good shots, not particularly bad shots, but all the rest have been right on point.
Yeah, archers looking for all their all their arrows to be very, very close together. That's what we refer to as the grouping.
The world record for the 15 arrow match for the compound men's open category is a perfect 150 points shot by Alberto Simonelli Rowley back in 2015. But 2 points down is not bad either.
2 ends still to go though. Murat Turan, well, he will shoot first, and all he's got to do is put down a big marker to put some kind of pressure on Ben Thompson. But even then, he's looking for Thompson to crack under the pressure.
$98.
Incredible from Thompson. And Chris, Murat Turan has fought his way through to the gold medal match. Is this the low arrows, and you're talking about trying to hold the bow up? Is it an indication of the endurance required at a championship like this?
I brought it up originally. I don't know what Murat's impairment is, or whether he has full control of his core body muscles, his torso, which is where I would think that difficulty, that endurance might come into play at the end of a long championships. I don't know what his grouping was like on the eliminations field. Unfortunately, we don't see those targets. But I'd be very interested to know why he thinks he's having those low groups.
Yeah, indeed. but a 9 and a 10 is not bad, you know, and that grouping is pretty good as well. But 28, usually a really good score, puts you in contention, but he's up against a man who's barely missing at the 10 ring.
10.
And another perfect score from Ben Thompson, just to prove that. 230s and 229s for this American who is in fine form here, and it's in the gold medal match at the World Championships.
And I love the way his bow reacts when he shoots. It really jumps forwards and his hand jumps back. It shows he's pushing towards the target, and he's pushing back. And in a nervous situation like this, when you've got a strong, powerful technique along the line towards the target, that's the one that's going to hold up best.
Well, it's his second perfect 30, and here we take a look back. That one hole there, I think, has been peppered by 4 different arrows. And there we go, 2 X's and a 10. And an 11-point margin now for the American, and it means he can afford a smile as his fans cheer him on in the crowd. He knows that he's got one hand on the world title here. Now he needs to just hold it all together.
Time to start shooting again.
Murat Turan shooting for us pride as much as anything else here, trailing by those 11 points. The final end of the gold medal match. Oh, that is the best arrow so far. He shot really well and looks like he's leaving the best for last.
Nice.
Turan suddenly finding the right height. Another 10. This is incredible. Just 2 9s so far for Ben Thompson. Everything else has been inside the 10 ring.
Nine.
And a 28 out of 30 is a good score again from Murat Turan, but just a scoring arrow required to settle this world title. Oh, and he puts one into the 8 to finish things off, but it's a 146 out of 150 for the 2019 world champion Ben Thompson.
And that was one of the best matches he shot this entire tournament. His highest score of them at the event was 147. If he tried a little harder with that last arrow, he probably would have beaten it, but he didn't care. He'd already won. He just wanted to send it down and finish things off.
Well, I think we can forget and forgive him for that last arrow. He'd done what he needed to. Ben Thompson is the men's individual champion here in Den Bosch. And there is confirmation. The 2019 World Archery Men's Individual Open Para Champion is the USA's Ben Thompson.